Alrighty then, we have, Shakur Foster and Ray Ford, and the question is Shakur Stevenson going to be a man of integrity, a man of honor, and if Shakur Foster get the job done, will he fight Shakur Foster? He said if Shakur Foster fought Ray Ford and beat him, that they would fight. Now, whether, Shakur Foster said whether it's at 35 or he can go up to 40, because Shakur isn't a big 147 pounder, no diddy, that he would accommodate him. There would be no excuses about weight. And, at the end of the day, I'm not mad at Shakur Stevenson for throwing his bro a lick. That's what bros do. You throw your man an opportunity, if he can capitalize on it, guess what? The publicity about it, stock for Ray Ford go up. And of course, Shakur is gonna be, giving them pointers on how to beat Shakur Foster. You should do this, you should do that. But it's the same thing I kind of said about Floyd. Shakur Stevenson is taking the Floyd blueprint and avoiding black fighters. Now, we had some people in the comment section, that didn't like the fact that I said I preferred, because it's no way to tell who's a better defensive fighter, James Toney over Floyd Mayweather. And I laid my reasons right out. You can go watch that video. And you have people saying, well, CJ, Floyd Mayweather, James Toney, and I addressed it in the video. Well, his speech, that don't mean that it came from the punishment. Floyd stuttering and shit too. That don't mean it came from punishment. Sometimes it comes from being weight drained. James Toney he said he should have probably been at heavyweight from the beginning. So y'all assume it come from taking punches. Nah, that don't translate. But like I said, most people ain't ever can't name 5 James Toney fights, let alone seen 3 James Toney fights. So, people going off highlights and all this type of shit, and you can go off what you want to go off of. But I watched the guy fight multiple times. And like I said, it's just my preferred method. But, like I said before, today, these, guys who don't know nothing about yesterday, they want to fight and argue with you about boxing today. People in the comment section trying to tell, oh man, man, bro, I can already tell. Ain't no way you watch basketball and boxing back in the day and you saying it's better right now. Absolutely not. That's why I laugh when they said the NBA is so much talented. I said, what? Like, bro, come on, man. But like I said before, they always gotta, when they gotta push propaganda or market and promote about how this the great, it's not the greatest. But in general, him and Shaq got a storyline going there. And if what excuse he gonna make? If he go up to 435, Shaq could go up to 35. If he do a catch weight, Shaq could do a catch weight. If they go to 40, Shaq could go to 40. If he run to 47, the expectation gonna be, hey, you should fight Devin Haney. Is he gonna hide behind the belts? Then, hey, man, we'll see. But he act like he's standing on something. He's standing on nothing. Like I said before, none of these fighters today are pound for pound fighters, in my opinion. It's only Inoue is the only solidified pound for pound fighter, in my opinion. Bivol, ducked the trilogy with Arthur Better BF. Devin, maybe borderline, but we need to see a little bit more after the Ramirez performance. In my opinion, the Norman performance was great. You want to put him on there? I'm not arguing him or him be on or not to be on that list. I said it's borderline, but it's only one pound for pound fighter right now, and that's Naoya Inoue. I don't rank heavyweight, so if you were talking about Usyk, Crawford is retired. Canelo is a used condom, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. And I may do a video or I might attach it to a live stream and talk about it. But, these crop of dudes ain't deserve to be pound for pound. Ain't got the name, ain't got the glamour, ain't got the activity. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got the wheel, ain't got the name on the resume. Just keeping it a bean. The pound for pound list is shitty when it's a bunch of small motherfuckers you never heard of. Respectfully. Think about it. From 35, 40, 47, 54, 60, 68, 75, not heavyweight. We don't count cruiserweight. Y'all can't compile a list of 10 of those guys that let you know everything you need to know right then and there. You know, respectfully. But, you know, if he don't fight Shock, he'll find some type of excuse, or I'm going to do a unification, or, you know, I got an injury, you know, because guess what, man? Name the black fighter that he done fought. That's why I told y'all, Ben Floyd telling these niggas don't fight niggas, man. That's the real Mayweather blueprint. Don't fight other black fighters. You know, don't fight other black fighters, man. That's the blueprint. Y'all don't know, that's the blueprint. That's the blueprint, bro. Don't fight other black fighters. Who Shakur fought? The one brother, the Connor brother. I know Black Papi, I'm Dominican. You know, Edwin De Los Santos. That boy put his goddamn Adidas track shoes on. Run, DM. So yeah, we seen what it really was with that. You know, when he fought the cop, he dropped the cop, and the cop hit him with something he ain't like. He ran the rest of the fight. Come on, man. So, I mean, I hope he a man of his word, and he gives Shot. And Shot got to win. Shot got to get the win, fam. Shot got to win. But if it's a debatable, he gonna find a loophole through it. I'll kill that nigga. Ain't no point in me fighting him. You know? Shot got to make a statement. He got to step on Raymond two-door forward focus. He got to step on him. And he in Houston, he got to step. If I'm Raymond Ford, I'm gunning for a knockout. It'll be a bunch of mess in Texas, boy, when it comes to these fights. If I'm Ray Ford, I'm training for a knockout. I'm keeping it a beam. If I'm Raymond Ford, I'm going to Houston. I'm going to his backyard. I'm gunning for a knockout. Mama said knock you out. I'm aiming for, you know, what was a cannabis second round knockout. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think Shakur was smart. Whatever happens, whether Shock beat Foster, and now you got a nice little fight with Shock and Shakur, maybe they can build it more if they choose to, or they go right into it. It's something to substance, bro. Raymond Ford win, guess what? It launched Raymond Ford name into a different caliber. Regardless, they need more beefs. Instead of, you know, he beefing with David Benavidez and they going back and forth. I ain't gonna never be in a ring with each other, so that's a pointless beef. But if you start, you know, talking shit with niggas like Devin and Connor and Keyshawn and Gary Anton Russell, Raymond Mortella, when you start popping good shit with those type of guys, it's real substance though. But I'm riding with Shock. I'm gonna do a prediction video on the Patreon, and I'll do a film study of Ray Ford and Shock when I get a chance. But I like Shock. You know, seemed like a solid dude. Like the way he fight. I like to be him to be a little bit more aggressive. You know, I think he can be more aggressive. But yeah, hopefully Shakur a man of his word. You know, we already know he really ain't a man of integrity. He a grifter, and ain't no grifter a man of integrity. Or a person of integrity. I keep saying that. These grifters, they don't stand for nothing. I said over and over again, these grifters don't stand for shit. They panhandle to whoever give them some attention, some money. You know, that's just what it is. So I don't respect it, dog, because it's not an objective standpoint of view. It's a bunch of people who grift. They grift in the media, they grift in real world. You know, their opinion, whatever the popular opinion is, that's where they grift into. No objectivity, you know, can't stand on their own opinion. I respect somebody who stand on their own opinion, no matter if it's 1,000 people saying it's wrong, but they stand on their opinion. It's how they feel. I respect that. More than you conforming because everybody else conform. Nah. Stand up for what you believe in. Too many people don't stand up for what they believe in. That's a fact. They scared of backlash. They scared of the backlash. They scared of, you know, ridicule, or they'll be called out, or they'll be outcast shit. Fuck it. Hey, if you don't stand with yourself, you don't fuck with yourself, I mean, who else gonna fuck with you? You know what I'm saying? I have a good time on my own, turn it up on my own. Remember, Gucci Man had a song. I got rich up by myself. I'm a young black millionaire. I forgot the name of the song. You know, but yeah. Shit, I have a good time with myself, bro. If I believe what I believe in, cool. And if I find I'm wrong, I don't got a problem saying I'm wrong. But that's the problem. A lot of these motherfuckers got a problem with admitting they wrong. It's what it is. But hey, man, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Peace.